What it is I, Treacherous Gambit, Dionysus, Hiveswap Master, a man of many names. Yeah, that's my intro. I don't know why I didn't do it last time. I think I was caught off guard with recording. Not in practice. Not in practice sounds right. We're back with Hiveswap friendsim. This may be days and or weeks, months later. But we're back, and we're gonna go on with the next person. We're not gonna do our Dada as much as she's part of the first volume. Y'all get to wait and see how vicious this culture is. You stumble through the streets of a strange alien world. Ever since you crash landed on this hostile planet, you've been disparate. Mike, no, I see what you're doing there. No jumping. Go on. Go on somewhere else. I love you, buddy. But you're gonna have to go sit somewhere else. Desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly for a bit of medical attention. Along the way, you've had some laughs, embarrassing missteps. Mike, no. And maybe even an encounter with alien meat products. You don't really want to get into it. Also, I forgot to mention, I have the same snacks as I do from the last friendsim. A feisty diet cherry coke, which is just terrible. A green apple Fanta if I really need to wash back the assault that is a feisty cherry diet coke. And a single bite of the sweet candy flesh Laffy Taffy grape flavor. And I'll put the Laffy Taffy in my mouth just to move around and flavor as I'm talking. Hopefully I'll be able to talk with it in. Along the way, oh yeah, I can hear in my mouth, not in my mouth, but in my head. That's definitely changing my voice a bit. Let me see if I can chew it into a form that will not change it as much. That seems like it'd be a bit better. I can still hear how it's a little bit different, but you get how it is. What you do want to get into is friendship. An entire planet of endless friends, of endless friend opportunities await you. Honestly, at this point, you'd make friends with one of those weird purple bushes. You're not picky. But you see something in the distance. Or perhaps someone. Sarava or Amisia. I honestly like both characters a lot. I can relate with this one quite a bit. When we come to him, because I'm gonna go with Amisia, I realized how much that statement may have came off as unmodest. I didn't mean that way. I mesh with him aesthetically. So, the friend we shall be making today, hopefully, is Amisia Erdhen. Lo, what light through yonder weirdly organic architecture breaks? A small figure approaches. Oh my gosh. You are so... So far, you've swallowed quite a few insults in regards to your looks and intelligence level. You aren't really the type to let the shallow opinions of others get you down. But it's been kind of a rough day. You brace yourself. Cute! Oh. She gives you a sweet, sincere smile. I've never seen anything like you. It's giving me all sorts of new ideas. Boy, do you hope some of these ideas are about friendship. Now that you've got a taste of it, you're hungry for more. You take a stumbling step forward, and your ribs remind you that although the potential of I think there's supposed to be a comma there. Your ribs remind you that although the potential camaraderie is enough to improve your mental health, it can't cure acute injuries. Oh, you don't look so good. Come inside. I've been looking for new contributors. Contributors? Could she mean friendship contributors? No, that's dumb. Maybe she runs some sort of alien newspaper, and she wants you on staff. She looks a little young for that, but what the heck do you know about alien management hierarchy? You follow her to a nearby building, and now that you're looking up from your ravenous hunt for companionship, you notice that you've wandered into a kind of upscale part of town. There's a lot less garbage and people collapsed in the street. You see one of those spiky robot things, but it's washing a window instead of shooting a laser at a group of children. If that's not high class, you don't know what is. Before you can follow her inside, she turns around in the threshold, blocking your way. Real quick, you don't happen to be an artist, do you? Artistry, well, as a matter of fact. Tell her, yeah, it isn't exactly your whole deal, but you've been known to dabble. Tell her no, you've never had much of a knack of it.
I'm not allowed to know that I've already played this, so I know the right answers.
Tell her no, you've never had much of a knack for it. Excuse me, good lord! I apologize so dearly for my outburst. Oh, good. Friendships between artists can be so fraught. Much better to just keep things between artists and art appreciators. That way no one can get jealous. The girl's smile widens even further, and you feel an unbelievable rush of joy. You finally found someone who isn't a total fucking maniac. And she brought up friendship without you having to mention it at all. It puts a spring in your step, or as much of a spring as possible, with a broken arm and a misaligned torso. Amisia leads you into an elevator with buttons labeled in spiky letters that make absolutely no sense to you. You realize that probably nothing is ever going to make sense to you again. That's okay, your hierarchy of needs has adjusted recently. Your new friend, you are jumping the gun with this descriptor because you are feeling seriously good about this encounter, stands in the corner of the elevator, wringing her claws. I wish I'd known I was going to have company. I would have cleaned up a little. It's been a while since I've met anyone new. You assure her that whatever disaster her house is in, it can't be any worse than some other places you've seen here. Although you kind of get what she means. She's wearing an artist's smock that is covered in splashes of paint. Actually, it doesn't really look like paint, but could be anything else, could it? Couldn't be anything else, could it? It's every color of the rainbow. The elevator door slides open and you step into a space that you were relieved to find is totally recognizable. The table overflows with messy palettes and brushes, cloudy jars of water and sponges. Several easels stand beside the window to catch the light of the two moons, and a number of canvases lean against the wall. Turn so you can't see what's on them. First things first, Amisia brings you over to a wall screen that looks way more high-tech than anything you have on your now-defunct spaceship. Tapping away at a series of unreadable symbols, she then indicates you should take off your sling. I only have a little bit of my taffy left. I'm just gonna chew it real quick here. Now, to get rid of that wonderful, tasty grape flavor, we're going to wash it down with some feisty cherry Diet Coke. Oh. Yep. It's feisty, alright. It's just... Does feisty go with diet? No. No, it doesn't. Here! Go ahead and stick it in there. She seems to want you to put your injured arm into a large hole in the wall, which you do, because you are sure your new friend has your best interests at heart. The hole shrinks down like a blood pressure cuff, sends bolts of agony through you. You want to yank your arm back out, but you don't. Even if it's broken, you still like having it. Having it attached to you. Instead, you shout a lot and thrash your other limbs around. Calm down, you big wriggler. Fuck. I want back. It's like you've never seen a medicalizer before. If you don't stop moving, it won't work. Excuse me. Tears spill down your cheeks, but you force yourself still. You'll bear the pain. You'll do it for your friend. She's looking at you so hopefully, and she's so delicate and pretty, almost angelic. You look at her face and tell yourself it's all going to be okay. Finally, the hole releases you, and you pull out your arm. You pull your arm back out to find it completely healed. You even can move your fingers. Doesn't even hurt anymore. Hey, things are looking up. See? I told you. This is great. You're overwhelmed with the urge to celebrate. I don't know about this choice. I'm gonna go ahead and get excited and dance. You try to resist the urge to celebrate. You fail to resist the urge. You take Amisia by her tiny hands and twirl her about the studio. Or you try to. You forget about your busted ribs. You sure are doing that a lot. You let go of Amisia and go careening into one of the tables. Thankfully not the one covered in art supplies. You hit the corner and go down onto your already incredibly sore ass. This is what you get for acting like a huge fucking tool in front of your new friend. Are you okay? Was that some sort of ritualistic rite of healing I've never heard of before? You shrug against the floor. Amisia leans down and picks you up in a bridal carry, despite the fact that she's about half your size. It makes your ribs hurt, but what doesn't nowadays? Amisia lays you down on a weird lumpy couch. Are you sure you're okay? You look a little... She trails off to nothing. She's looking at your left arm, which you have draped over yourself awkwardly in a sort of try to hold your torso together. That color. At first, you think she means the color of your skin, which is different than her light gray. Then you think she means the truly fantastic buffet of bruises you've got going on. But then you realize that in your prancing idiocy, you managed to scrape up the inside of your arm. Blood oozes sluggishly from the wound. Amissa dredges a finger through it. You're half expecting her to put it in her mouth for this to become a whole cannibal situation. Well, since you aren't the same species, it wouldn't really be cannibalism, but still, no thanks. Instead, Amissa holds her fingers up, the drop of blood trembling on the tip. This color! I've never seen anything like it! She dashes off to one of her tables, pulling over a sketchbook and dragging her finger down it. Blood paints a rusty line down the center. She lets out a little squeak of excitement. This is amazing! What? Red? Not red. There's a million dirty little rusties swarming all over this city. I'm drowning in red. This is crimson. It's incredible. You must be some sort of mutant. You're really lucky I found you instead of one of the drones. Lucky? You? Yeah. Very lucky. The luckiest. Though your arm is healed, you're out of whatever doubtlessly weird weather happens on this planet. Maybe Amissa's right. Maybe you are lucky. You close your eyes and try to breathe. Zen yourself out. Really center yourself in your own body and all that garbage. When you open your eyes, and wow, you sure aren't centered anymore. And in fact, you roll completely to the left as you try to get away from Amissa, who is back and standing over you with a gigantic axe. Watch out! Amissa grabs you, drags you back up onto the couch, and plants her hand on your solar plexus. I don't know terribly too much about anatomy. I would guess that the solar plexus is like somewhere on your chest. Well, like, his ribs are broken, right? So, like, maybe on the shoulder? I don't know. Effectively pinning you down. You'll hurt yourself if you keep flopping around like a bleached blubber beast. Wait, did it say bleached? Beached. Like a beached blubber beast? You want to be friends, don't you? You want to help me with my artistic aspirations, right? You get the feeling she might be trying to manipulate you, just the tiniest little suspicion. It's possible Amissa has recognized your intense craving for companionship and is trying to exploit it. You don't like being suspicious of a new friend, but that is a pretty big axe. I don't know what's got you so worried. I just wanted to show you my axe. Oh, of course. Makes sense. It is a really nice axe. You hold out your hand for it, but of course it is too heavy for you. And your hands are all sweaty. You fumble it. Fumble a really sharp weapon. Missa tries to catch it before it's too late. And somehow, in all the wriggling struggle, you end up getting cut. Like, very cut. Across both your wrists. In fact, you don't think she could have aimed even better if she'd been trying. Oh, dear. Hard agree. Don't struggle. You'll only hurt yourself more, silly. You don't want that, do you? No, you definitely don't want that. Not after what a butterfingers you've been proven to be. Amissa gets up to put the axe down. You kind of lose track of her for a little while. You're bleeding all over her couch and everything. And everything around you starts to go shiny, unreal. She comes back with a couple little jars that she uses to catch her blood. That's a good idea. You sure are making a mess. You wonder if they're specifically blood jars. They look like jam jars. Alien jam. Space jam!
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam.
God, you love that movie. It's been so long since you've seen it. Definitely the best PG movie about basketball. Way better than that one with the dog and the clown. Did they even have basketball here? You ask Amissa. She just shushes you, and brushes your hair back off your forehead. She keeps smiling and saying comforting things. God, she's such a good friend. For too long, you do what is honestly a goddamn shock you haven't done before now. You pass the fuck out. When you come to, you're propped up against the wall in a weird way you wouldn't love even if you weren't an invalid. If you weren't an invalid. And both of your arms are jammed in that hole in the wall. The med hole. The glory hole of well-being. Oh my god. The magic sphincter. You grunt and pull your arms back out. They're healed. The cuts on your wrists are just two faded pink lines. Take a step away from the wall and immediately hit the ground. You may not be actively dying anymore, but you did just lose like half the blood in your body. Gosh, you're tired. A little giggle makes you turn around, or roll over since you're still on the floor and probably not getting up anytime soon. It's fine, you've met worse floors in your life. Amisia is sitting at one of her easels, her hair pulled back beneath a scarf, little round glasses perched on her nose. A jar of your blood sits next to her, and as you watch, she dips a brush in it. I'm glad you're awake. I was a little worried I'd actually killed you back there. She laughs, and you laugh along with her. It's very funny. Actually, everything is funny right now. It's probably the blood loss. You ask her what she's painting. You, of course. You inspired me. Well, right now it just looks like a bunch of red squiggles and some lines. But she only just got started. She's warming up. She sits there on her stool, looking at her palette and chewing on her lip thoughtfully. She looks somewhat nervous. Actually, I want to show you something. Something I've never shown anyone else. She leaps up from her stool and crosses the studio. You roll your other side to keep her in your line of sight. Really hope she isn't going to get another Space Jam jar. She starts turning around the canvases one by one. They're all blank, except for one, which is a little... Wait, no, that's just a shadow. Every single one of them is blank. You aren't sure you understand. You ask her if these are all just new canvases that she has not gotten the chance to paint on yet. Amisia sighs. No. I've had them forever. I'm just not a real painter. There. I said it! She buries her face in her hands, talking from between her fingers. I'm really good at all the other parts. The materials, the studio. I even make all my own paints. I just can never do the actual sitting down and doing art part. She just looks so despondent. You wish you could do something, but you don't really know much about art and probably can't stand up yet. Tell her that she looks like she's moving in the right direction at least. You don't even have a studio or any brushes or stuff like that. You know, the feisty Diet Coke is working on me a bit. I don't know. I think maybe the spice makes up for the loss in sugar. Not immediately, of course. Like, if you were somebody who were drinking sugary drinks and then, like, switched over to diet for, say, like a week and then, like, got some feisty diet, then I could see it being like, oh, yeah, this is really good. Of course, you have no aspirations to being a painter, but you leave that part out. That's just it. I feel inspired for the first time ever. I think it has to be your messed up, disgusting mutant blood. There's really no other explanation. She takes a knee beside you, picking up one of your limp hands with hers. They're cold, like she's been pressing them to a glass window in winter. Usually I just finish off my contributors quickly. I don't have time to deal with a bunch of injured low-bloods moaning around my studio. But I couldn't just use your blood up all at once. You're far too special for that. You gaze at Amisia. A mist has descended over your vision. It isn't even the mist of imminent death. I have to keep this precious blood safe. I think you might be my muse. You will never escape. Well, friends, it has been fun going on you with this adventure. Someone of immense. You know, like the anglerfish, where like it's so deep in the sea that everything is like pitch blackness, but it's got that little light and things like to go through, and then like it reveals that it's kind of extremely terrifying. She's like that, but like different. And I've finished off the feisty cherry Diet Coke. Fuck. As much as I'd love to record more, I'm very tired. So I think I can't go to bed, but like I'm definitely done recording for right now. So it has been an absolute blast, friends, and I will see you around.